Hello, welcome to this yoga flow to yin. Today we'll need a bolster or a cushion and a block if you have one. If not, no worries. You can just come to start to lie on your back. So we'll start by taking a moment just to settle into the here and now. So drawing the soles of the feet to the floor, the knees up to the sky, and then just drawing the knees to touch. Bringing both hands onto your body and closing down the eyes. So we'll take a moment here at the beginning of practice just to begin to slow down. To draw the awareness inwards. Taking a moment to check in with how you feel today, in the mind and in the body. And then drawing the awareness to the breath. Maybe feeling underneath the hands how the breath moves through the body. With each inhale, there's a sense of expansion, space being made in the body. And with each exhale, an essence of coming together, a softness. And just notice how the breath flows through the body. Maybe noticing the support, the sturdiness of the earth beneath you. For this moment in time, simply being here now. And with the next breath, we're going to start to windscreen wiper the legs. So drawing both knees over to the right, then over to the left, and continuing with the breath. Just starting to bring some movement into the hips. And stretching the legs long, the arms over the head, taking a long, deep stretch. Then drawing the right heel to the top right of the mat and crossing the left ankle over the right. Taking a hold of the left wrist with the right hand and pulling both the hands over to the top right of the mat. Taking this sort of banana half crescent moon shape. And with each breath, trying to breathe into the left hand side of the body. Lengthening the sides of the body and finding space for the breath. Then when you're ready, coming over to the other side, drawing the left ankle to the top left, crossing the right ankle on top, taking a hold of the right wrist with the left hand and drawing the hands over to the left hand side of the mat. Starting to lengthen into the right hand side of the body and drawing the breath into the right hand ribs. And drawing the knees into the chest, wrapping the arms around the shins, tucking the forehead to the knees, squeezing the body. Then we're going to take a rock up the spine to a seat. So we'll take a few rocks just to gently massage along the spine. And then when you're ready, coming to a seat, rolling over the knees, and we'll meet in an all fours tabletop. Widening the knees to the edge of the mat, sinking the hips to the heels and the hands forwards, coming into our child's pose. Now as we arrive here, taking a few moments to settle the breath, feeling the support of the earth. Then with the next breath, we're going to round the spine, rippling the spine forwards. The shoulders will come just over the wrists. Then we're tilting the hips forwards, tucking the hips, and rippling back with the spine. Inviting in this wave-like motion with the spine. Now it might not look exactly like this. We're just starting to move in a way that feels nice and fluid for the body. Taking our time to create a little bit of space within each vertebrae of the spine. So at first it might feel a little bit funny, but we can just close the eyes and see what feels nice in the body. Moving with the breath. And then drawing the knees in slightly closer together, we'll tuck the toes, lifting the hips, coming into a downward facing dog. Now we'll take a few breaths here, so moving in any way that the body feels like it wants to. This could be really simple, straightening one leg and bending the other. We're just starting to open up the back line of the body. Coming to stillness, inhale to come onto the balls of the feet, rippling the spine forwards, lowering the knees to hover them just off the earth, and the hips come up and back, downward facing dog. With each inhale, we're rippling forwards, and exhale, we come back to our downward facing dog. Moving with the breath, starting to create this movement, this openness of the spine, strength in the body. And then we'll settle in our down dog. Lowering the knees down to the earth, keeping the toes tucked, walking the hands towards the thighs, coming to our toe sets. Now this can be a little bit uncomfortable, so we're going to use the breath to enable us to stay, to move through this discomfort. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. With the next breath, rising the hands to the sky, interlacing the fingers and reaching them all the way up to the ceiling. Inhale to reach the hands up to the sky, and exhale bending over to the left. Inhale to center, and exhale to the right. Moving with the breath, each inhale we lift, coming over to the side, stretching into the sides of the body. Once more on each side, moving with the breath. Next time we reach the hands to the sky, releasing the hands, rolling over the knees, coming to all fours, tabletop. Scrunching in the toes, whacking them on the floor, getting the blood flowing back to the feet. Then we're going to extend the right leg long behind us. And then drawing the right knee to the outside of the right elbow, coming into our low lizard lunge. Now we can start taking a gentle rock into the hips. If we want to come down into the forearms, you can do so. And we just take this sway into the hips to start to open up into the hip joints. Giving the body space and time to begin to open. Then with the next breath, we're going to come onto the hands. Drawing the left heel towards the left glute, we're walking the hands along the left-hand edge of the mat. Swiveling on the left knee and extending the right leg long. Reaching the right arm over the head, stargazer. Now with the next breath, we're going to create these big circles with the arm. Inhale to sweep the arm past the ear, up to the sky, down in front of you. One more big circle, inhale to lift. Exhale, drawing the right hand down to the mat, the right knee comes towards the left. Coming onto the other side, extending the left leg long behind you. Then drawing the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Drawing the chest forwards and the hips down forwards. Option to come down onto the forearms, and we'll begin to take that gentle rock into the hips. Using the breath to start to create this space, this softness in the hips. Taking a little bit of time to open up the body. And when you're ready, bringing the hands down to the earth. Drawing the right heel towards the right glute, walking the hands along the right hand side of the mat, extending the left leg. Left arm sweeps over the head, stargazer. Creating those big circles with the top arm. Inhale to lift the hand to the sky, exhale to draw it down to the earth, sweeping it past the ear as we inhale, and exhale we close. Once more, just like that. And drawing the hand back down to the earth. Finding our way to a seat, we're going to come into the more yin section of this practice. So option here is our fire logs. So we're stacking the shins on top of one another, just like this with the arms. The right shin on the bottom, left shin on the top. If this feels quite inaccessible, we can simply cross the legs. Or we can overcross the legs into our Gomukhasana. Now wherever you've chosen to be today, we're going to walk the hands out in front of the body, lengthening the spine, the sides of the body, taking an inhale here through the nose, and an exhale through the mouth. Now as we move into our more yin section of the practice, we're going to hold these postures for a few moments. And as we do this, we draw the awareness to the breath, creating the space and the time for the body to begin to unravel, to settle, and to rest. Now with each posture, I'll guide you in with a breath and out with a breath. And in the meantime, we simply stay as we are. Maybe noticing the sensations within the body, the support of the earth beneath you, and that gentle flow of breath. With the next breath, taking an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Starting to walk the hands towards the knees and drawing them behind the hips so we can lift up the legs and switch them to the opposite side. So this time the right shin is on the earth and the left shin is on top. Option for cross legs or Gomukhasana on the other side. Then when you're ready, walking the hands forwards. And then we'll take an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. And as we begin to settle once again, just giving a little scan of the body. Noticing if you're holding on to any unconscious tightness or tension. Now it might be somewhere obvious like the hips or the shoulders. Or maybe it's somewhere more subtle like a tiny muscle in the face, maybe a softening of the jaw. Seeing if we can consciously soften with the breath. With the next breath, taking an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Walking the hands back towards the knees. Uncrossing the legs, and now we're opening them wide this time. If you have your block, you can bring it on the inside of the right knee. Placing the right elbow on the block, the head in the hand, and bringing the opposite hand behind the head. You can have it without a block and bringing the right elbow to the knee. And we're just opening the arms here, beginning to stretch into the left-hand side of the body. Option to take that left hand, wrap it round the back of the body towards the lower back. If we've chosen this, rolling that left shoulder up, down and back away from the ear. Then once you're settled, taking an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Maybe going through that little scan of the body once again. What can you release? What can you soften? Maybe simply noticing that flow of breath in the body. And with the next breath, we'll take an inhale through the nose And an exhale through the mouth. Gently drawing your chest back up to center, we'll come to switch sides. Now if you have the block under the elbow, simply bringing it to the other side. If not, we're bringing the left elbow to the shin. Right elbow up to the sky and the hands behind the head. Taking an inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Option to wrap that right arm behind the back, gently rolling the shoulder up, down and back to open the chest. And as we settle into this side of the stretch, drawing the breath into the right hand ribs, into the belly. Trying to find a little bit more space in the body. Maybe a little more softness. With the next breath, taking an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Then when you're ready, gently coming back up to center. We're going to come to a Supta Baddha Konasana, supported reclined butterfly. So if you have a bolster or a cushion, bringing it long along the mat behind the sit bones. And drawing the knees out wide, soles to touch, and we're lying the spine on the bolster. Allowing the arms to come out wide. And when you get there, taking our breath. Inhale deep into the belly, the chest, the throat. Inhaling to fill up the body. Exhale to release. Closing down the mouth and allowing the breath to settle in its own rhythm. And as we start to create this space, the mind might start to wander. And allowing it to do so. But then maybe drawing the attention back to the physical sensations in the body. This opening of the heart space, the hips, or that gentle flow of breath. The inhales creating a little more space, and the exhales inviting softness. With the next breath, taking an inhale through the nose, and an exhale through the mouth. Gently guiding the knees towards one another. Reaching the arms over the head. We're going to find our way up. So bring the hands to either side of the body, lifting up the chest. Moving the bolster out to one side. Now getting your block, if you have one, could also be a cushion. We're just going to bring it close by, extending the legs up to the sky. Starting by just taking some circles into the ankles and then extending one leg and bending the other. We're starting by pushing the heels to the sky as we extend. Then we're going to point the toes as we extend the legs and bend the other. Then we're going to start to kick the legs up to the sky, really shaking everything up into the legs. Getting everything moving, shaking, 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 just like a kid having a tantrum, getting everything moving. Then softening into the legs, into the knees, and allowing the legs to settle in stillness in our waterfall pose. Now if you have your block, we're going to slightly lift the bottom of the hips and place it under the hips. Just taking a little bit of pressure off the sacrum. Then when you settle, taking our breath. An inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Now, after a while, this posture might start to bring up some unfamiliar sensations. Maybe a sort of tingling or lightness into the feet. Try not to resist or push away these sensations, but staying here with an element of curiosity. Maybe taking a gentle sway of the feet left to right. I always think this feels a little bit like moving through water. Just noticing the sensation. And taking an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Releasing the posture. Then bringing your feet towards the glutes, lifting the hips, moving the block out the way. Extending the legs long, we're coming into our final resting posture, our Shavasana. And when we get there, we're going to breathe in all the way into the belly, the chest, the throat. We're going to hold our breath at the top. Take in one more sip of air. Hold. And exhale, release. Twice more just like that. Inhale to the belly, the chest, the throat to hold. One more sip of air. Hold. And exhale through the mouth. Final round. Inhale all the way into the belly. Filling up the lungs all the way to the head. We hold one more sip of air. We hold at the top. And fully exhale. Just releasing the breath, allowing the body to melt into the earth. And just beginning to deepen the breath, maybe rubbing together the pads of the fingers, moving into the fingers, the toes, reaching the toes long and the arms over the head, taking a long deep stretch, and drawing the knees into the chest, rolling over to one side. We're going to stay here for just a moment, just noticing the environment that you've created for yourself in this moment in time. And when you're ready, beginning to find your way up to a seat. Keeping your eyes closed if you feel comfortable to do so, bringing one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Taking this final moment of practice just to once again check in with yourself, to feel your heartbeat and your breath, and taking a moment of gratitude and thanks for yourself for making this time in your day. And we'll take one final breath to close our practice. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Well done for showing up. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.